Hello, attorney Masah SamForay here, owner and founder of the Foray Firm with offices in Chicago and Houston. And I am back once again to talk to you about all things immigration. So today's question is really common, and it's unfortunate. The question is, my spouse won't cooperate with me in filing for my adjustment of status. So this is a question that we hear a lot of, and you might be familiar if you are familiar at all with immigration laws with VAWA, or the Violence Against Women Act. You might be familiar with the term U visas. Again, VAWA and U visas, these were available and gave a pathway to freedom for victims of domestic violence and domestic battery specifically. However, those programs are pretty inactive at this point in time, and so what we're talking about today is not victims of domestic violence. However, we're talking about financial control, because as far as I'm concerned, being a prior domestic violence prosecutor, financial abuse and financial control is real. And you could be from a culture where misogyny is accepted. You could be from a culture where women are second-class citizens. You could be from a country where you are expected to really follow the lead of your husband and to not have a voice in some, serious matters. But the fact is that just because you came here under somebody else's banner and as, let's say, a fiance or a spouse to a U.S. citizen or a U.S. green card holder doesn't mean that you have to be forever under their control. If you have concerns about whether or not you are the victim of financial abuse or whether or not you are being controlled in a way that is unhealthy in your relationship, you definitely should reach out to a clergy member, reach out to a trusted member of your community, to a domestic violence counselor or a domestic violence shelter, or more importantly, get connected with a trusted immigration attorney so that you can discuss your own independent individual rights and what your own individual path to citizenship is. And so what would consultation with an immigration attorney help you to assess? Well, that person's going to be able to walk you through the waiver process. So you're going to first and foremost need to complete an I-751 and check the relevant boxes to indicate that despite good faith, your spouse can no longer or will no longer support your petition. And some of the reasons why a spouse wouldn't support the petition could be death, right? So maybe your U.S. citizen spouse died before your application was finally approved. It could be divorce, or it could be domestic violence, as we previously discussed. And so the grounds for waiver are really going to fall under three different categories. Number one, if there was extreme hardship, and for the extreme hardship exception, you don't actually even have to show that it was a valid marriage. It could be for any number of external issues that are completely outside of your control. It could be because of political strife in your home country or any number of different reasons that have nothing to do with the validity of the marriage itself. Number two, it could be a divorce. Now, in this circumstance, you are going to need to show that you got a divorce after a valid marriage. Okay, so you're going to have to show that the marriage was genuine and definitely provide any documentation as it pertains to that. And most importantly, you need to show documentation as it pertains to the finalization of your divorce. Because the divorce needs to be completely total, final. You need to have a final divorce decree in order to do the I-751. And then number three, if there was battery or domestic violence or extreme cruelty in the relationship, and if that is the reason why your spouse is no longer willing or able to support your petition, then you're going to want to make sure that you consult with an attorney to determine what evidence it is that you need to show. And to be clear, any violence or even the threat of violence is going to be able to put you in a situation where you could qualify for this particular waiver. So if you have any questions about how to go about this, particularly if you are in a dangerous home situation, make sure you reach out to somebody that you trust. For whatever reason you were able to get to the shores of the United States, you have already beat the odds. Once you get here, you are not beholden for the rest of your life to somebody who is not supportive of you and somebody who would stop you from your own personal pursuit of happiness. Because again, under the Declaration of Independence, you have the right to life, to liberty, and to the pursuit of happiness. And so if there's anything we can do to assist you, please don't hesitate to contact us or contact a trusted immigration attorney in your own jurisdiction, and make sure that you know your rights. Thank you, and I hope that this was helpful.